about that? 138. I'm being that specific tonight. ASAP. For sure, for sure. Things ready here. We'll get started. Hope everybody's having an awesome Thursday night. Thursday night. It's Baby Friday, y'all. Bill Taylor here, Ken's 5 Digital Center. Ooh, lots of headroom in this shot here. Should have panned it down or I sit way up like this, right? How's everybody doing? How you feeling? It's Baby Friday, Thursday night. I know you're trying to see what we're going to do Saturday, what we're going to do Sunday. So you need an updated weekend forecast. That's why I'm here. I also want to recap where the rain fell today. There was some flooding rains out to the west of San Antonio. Now, we, of course, didn't see flooding rains here. We didn't see any rain here, really. There was one little blip on the radar. In fact, the computer models, it was interesting. They brought in a little downpour at about 8 p.m., and it didn't happen. But early on in the shows at 4, 5, and 6, I was showing this one little flare-up, if you will, southwest Bexar County at 8 p.m. is when it showed it. Didn't happen. But look at the heavy rain out west. I mean, that line developed early, still along that stationary front. You can see it kind of built back to the west. So it was southeast of the city first, and you see a really healthy line of heavy rain south of Victoria, and then just drift out to the west. And the front, you know, this is really more of an outflow from that stationary front because we even had north to northeast winds a good part of the day. Then you see that one little residual flare up late in the afternoon. Watch over Floresville here, and there it is down into Pleasanton for a nice little downpour in Atascosa County. Mississippi, yeah, a lot of heavy rain there. Happy Thursday, Shell. Good to see you. Megan, hello there. Deanna, I'm trying. Yeah, too hot again. Can you believe it? Heat wave is there for sure. Henry, not feeling good with all this dry weather. Hey, Brianna, 7-day rain totals are not looking too good. Hope you're doing well. At least you got some of that rain I'm just looking at, right? Not some of that right there early on today, then that little impulse right there this afternoon. I hope you got some good rain at your place in Atascosa County. So, who got what? Let's take a look at the 24-hour rain totals. And you know what? Why don't we take a look at the 48? And you can see where this rain fell first today, and then we'll go to 48. Let's do a little query here on exactly what fell near Pleasanton, about 3 inches of rain. South to Tilden for 2.5. Pearsall area, just under 1 inch. South of Uvalde, about 3 plus. Down I-35, 1.5 inches. Victoria area, almost 2 inches. Live Oak County here, 2 inches. So all good rain totals for sure. 1/2 inch in Cuero, very nice, early on, huh? Okay. So now let's go to the 48 and just see what we've had for the last couple days. Query in these spots. South of Crystal City, 5. Just west of Pearsall, 5. Really good stuff. Kimberly, there's a chance, yes. Good to see you too, Gail. Got some rain in Cotulla, Hanak. All right. Because, you know, Thursdays when we get the drought report, it did not change since last week. It will change next week because these rains aren't part of this week's drought report. So that's why I don't really even want to show it. And there was no change since last week. Exceptional drought everywhere. But the books close on Tuesday as far as what is reported by Thursday. So any rain that fell Wednesday, Thursday does not count. So we got a majority of our rain Wednesday. 3 inches of rain. Husband's cows are loving it. Very nice. When will it leave the coast? That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at what's going on in Corpus Christi, to be honest with you. All right, couple of things that have been affected by all this rain, and I know you've been feeling this mold count. Extreme counts, 5 figures strong at 14,850. So this climbed from yesterday. We went 12, 13, now 14. I think this should be the peak, at least now. And we start seeing this move in the right direction, which is down. Because we're going to start seeing a little bit more drying. Fall elm at 60 and light. The good news, the aquifer, and a little climb here, a little more than half a foot. And so let's take a look. Aquifer, reading 635.4 up 0.7 of a foot. Very nice. 10-day, 634.6. We were down to about 630. We were hitting that stage 4 trigger, but it's still in stage 2, which, as you remember, stage 2, let's go to it and remind you what that means for watering. The watering rules in stage 2, once a week based on your address. So tomorrow's Friday. If your address ends in 8 or 9, you can water. And remember the 7-11 rule, 7 to 11 a.m., 7 to 11 p.m. So you can water right now if your address ends in 6 or 7. And no watering on weekends. And remember, this is with irrigation systems, sprinkler systems. If you want to hand water, you can do it. And that's any time. But the 7-11 rule is key because those are the best hours to water. That's when you're going to really get the most effectiveness, if you will, out of your watering. And I've also heard, try not to water overnight. And it's not just because, you're secretly watering. Because they say, what I've heard is that a fungus can grow in the overnight hours when you water. I don't know enough about horticulture to explain much more than that, but I just heard that it's not good to water in the overnight hours. SAWS has handed out, I was just reading this earlier this week, over 2,000 citations for water violators. So make sure you're following these rules right now, stage 2. Remember, water conservation is a water source. It's a source within itself if you're following the rules and conserving. So that is that. That is that. Today's numbers. More numbers for you. Going to look at from the airport. This is where we get these numbers recorded at San Antonio International. Today's high 93, 2 away from the record. What am I saying? I keep saying that because I said it so often this summer. 2 away from the average, something I didn't say all summer. That's why it's so hard for me to say that. Several away from the 102. Look at that record high, 1924. That is an old record, my friends. Wow. Record low 58, 1891. A couple of really old records for August 25. Now, something else about August 25. Do you guys remember what happened on this day 5 years ago? Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey starts out as this tropical low, cruises through the Caribbean, does not gain strength. In the Caribbean, stayed a low, was just a tropical low. Then hits the Yucatan, comes off the Yucatan, and is in the Bay of Campeche as a tropical wave, okay? And I'll never forget the rapid intensification. Remember, once it hits that central Gulf, to the left of that M, right in that spot where it went from tropical storm to Cat 1, the water is very, very deep and very, very warm this time of year. And this storm cranked up fast. Rapid intensification, gets to Category 4 and makes landfall at Rockport. The first U.S. landfall, Rockport. It was about 5 landfalls altogether from what I understand. And then you see the big right to southeast turn it takes out back into the Gulf of Mexico and just rains over Houston. Nederland got 60 inches of rain from Harvey. Well, saludos, Jesus. Got good rain. God bless you and your family too. Thank you so much, my brother. Shelly, betting that mold count, what's responsible for all? Oh, yeah. Grandson's running noses, dealt with quite frequently. So sorry. Stage 2, if we're at 6:30, we're right, Michelle. But here's what they've told us. SAWS has alternative means of water. The Vista Ridge, as well as some of the reservoir and reserve they use. That's how they explain it to me. I don't know much more than what I just said. And that wasn't even much. But they have some backup supply. And that's what's really helped us a lot. Plus, the conservation is working. And remember, and like I said, if you break these rules of conservation and stage 2 rules, they're really handing out the citations. Pleasanton get any more? Going to Port A. What's it look like down there? Well, I don't know just yet. I haven't looked at Port A for the weekend. I'll show you in a moment. Hurricane Harvey supposed to come for San Antonio, but went for Houston. Yeah, look at it. It was aiming right at us. I remember like a rainfall forecast calling for like a foot of rain in San Antonio into the hill country, but then everything changed when this storm went hard right on us. It got up to about Goliad and then took a hard right. And it was a category 2 in Goliad. I remember that. But what happened here was there was 2 big high pressure domes that kind of squeezed it. And so the first was a push from the west, helping it turn to the right, good steering current there. And then the sandwich occurred when it was south of Houston, and it just sat still and just rained into southeast Texas for 2 days. I mean, it was just solid, heavy rain. Unbelievable storm. Hurricane Harvey, 5 years ago today. Oh, so yeah, our 93, I wanted to show you this. You know, we hit 93 today, so we remain at 58 100-degree days. I mean, you get this close to the record, you want to break it, don't you? At least tie it. 59 is right there. We're like right there. And we really could end the year this way. I mean, I think we're definitely looking at September to be when we maybe get warm enough to get a 59, you know, because it doesn't appear that in fact, I'm not forecasting a triple-digit day the rest of this month. I'm not. You can't make me. What is the worst type of weather to hire for a job? Lightning, because it's always on strike. Joel, that is really good. Or Joel, love that. Priscilla, it could be you. Either way, that's funny stuff. It's always on strike. Victoria, I'm doing good. God bless you too, John. Good to see you. I think I might. Hey, Will, Cowboy capital of Bandera, Texas. What's going on, Will Zamora? I love it. Divine, that's where Joel is. Hey, Brian, what's going on? San Antonio make the top list for most hundreds in one summer. No. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, we're knocking on the door. But remember, I mean, this is nothing compared to cities like Dallas. Dallas has had a lot more than we have. A lot more. All right, so moving forward, let me show you first that this was the last day of our stationary front. It really looks like the front fizzles out in the next 24 hours. And what was that little surface catalyst for these showers in the afternoon heating is going to be gone by tomorrow. That doesn't mean rain chances are gone with it. If you look at water vapor, we still have some good moisture available, and I think what we'll see is afternoon heating produce some isolated action. We're not expecting very much. We certainly won't see what we have seen. Didn't see any today. So that's going to be kind of the trend moving forward through the weekend. I'm expecting just a slight chance, and let's go to the computer model to confirm just that. So this is the HER, which has been performing really well lately. And as we move forward into Friday morning early, you can see some light rain. Uvalde down the Eagle Pass, almost Eagle Pass. Then some rain starts up in the afternoon up the I-35 corridor east on 10 as well. That's a pretty good little impulse. Look at that. With 4 o'clock looking at some heavy rain across the area. Very interesting. Then a flare up across the south side at 5. Oh, this would be nice. Maybe I up the rain chances. Did such a good job with this. I mean, it's got a few showers out there tonight, which is not true, but let's take a look. Oh, you know what? I don't have to go there. I can do it from here. Let's take a look at the IBM model at tomorrow and see what it says. So there's, see now tonight it's got some light rain near Pearsall. All that rain's gone. And you can see a few scattered areas at 2 o'clock east as well, and that's about it. Nothing after that. Same on Saturday. So it looks as though the IBM is a lot less aggressive. Quick check of Tropics. Notice that we still have 2 systems with low chance of development. Over the next 5 days, this is one to watch. Very similar track to Harvey right there. Very, very similar track to Harvey. Yes, it is, for sure. All right, so let's take a look at the coast, the weekend getaways. Brianna's going to Port A. We're all going to Port A with Brianna. Come on. Michael, Salt Lake City, broke its record this year. 22, new is 24. Glad we can't compete, right? Looking dry, maybe by Monday some coastal rains, and that's part of what you'll see in a moment on our 7-day. Austin, some Monday rain. South Padre, Sunday. Looks like a good weekend at Port A, Brianna. Corpus Christi obviously would be the forecast that you want to look at for that. Oh, come on, Natalie. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Shelley, sure I'm not the only person who needs a break from, oh yeah, hello. We all do. All right, 7-day forecast time. Let's take a look. And again, isolated shower possible tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. I really might, after looking at that HER model, which performed really well, I wonder if we up that to 30%. I really want to. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is a good surge of Gulf moisture. And without high pressure building in, we're uncapped, and we could be upwards of a 30 to 40% chance of rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's going to probably be changeable, if you will. It's not definite, but it's something that could move in either direction. At this point, it's a little early to really lock that in on a rain chance. Need something, some of this to sit over the watershed for the Medina River. Absolutely, Norman. Yeah, this would be, you know, there was a good 2.5 to 3 inch rainfall estimate there yesterday, and that was really kind of Tuesday, Wednesday rain, just north of Medina Lake. What's the allergy forecast? Well, no allergy forecast, Jen. I would say that, I mean, the allergens mold is very high, 14,000 today. But because we're heading in a drier direction over the next few days, I think mold comes down. But we don't do a pollen forecast. There's really, you can't bank on them. We do pollen reports. Any evenings where it feels great outside, not so humid? Yeah, just some of that wind is helping, Stephanie. It's really not anything that we can count on. But just a good little breeze in the evenings has been helping. That's good coffee tonight. This is Pike Place Starbucks coffee. And you know what that means, David? I don't know, because maybe it's time that we check in with Julie on what's coming up on Ken's 5 News at 10. We're checking with Julie on what's coming up on Ken's 5 News on 10. On Ken's 5 News, we're checking with Julie. It's Thursday night. We call it Baby Friday. We're checking with Julie on Ken's 5 News at 10. Yeah.
Nice.
David Lynch on tambourine. Thank you for the backing. Did I have backup singers? I think Teresa and April.
Teresa, Ray,
my backup
April.
Singers? No? Okay.
All of them were backup.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's good?
I'm doing great on this Thursday night.
Awesome. It is Thursday night. We're zeroing in on Saturday, Sunday, which look good. I mean, we're not going to be too wet.
Just delete that.
Oh,
I
good.
think shower possible, but really, it doesn't look too bad.
Good. I'm
So
glad.
I'm gonna steal your thunder for just a moment because
Go right ahead.
I was recapping Harvey's track.
Yes.
We've got a great report from Paul Morellis coming up at 10 o'clock.
We sure do.
And
He has
Paul
it all.
spent the last 2 days down in Rockport taking a look at what it looks like now 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Going to hear from Paul, Chamber of Commerce, exactly what kind of rebuilding. A lot of people relocated or rebuilt. One of the two. Because 130 mile per hour winds will dislocate.
No, for sure.
And so, yeah.
He also speaks. So I watched his piece. It's a really great piece. He also speaks with a man who's like the face of Hurricane Harvey. We'll get it more
cool.
into that
Okay.
tonight, but he has it all in his piece.
Love
And
it.
I also want to hit on another great piece that you should please tune in tonight for. It's Vinny Vanzetta's piece. So he's
love him,
covering Uvalde. But okay, yes. So Uvalde, the
didn't
football
play
team.
tonight, did they? No, they play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow.
Okay.
But here's what's so special about this is that this team didn't want to just like they're saying, what do we want to do with the number 21? Do we want to retire that number?
Yeah.
They decided
21 victims.
yes, for
Yeah,
the 21
yeah.
victims. They decided we're not going to retire that number because it means so much to us now.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and give that number to a player who represents the community's values. And that's what they're doing. So tonight we get to meet the player that they've
We meet
chosen.
the player tonight?
That they've chosen to wear that number on his jersey. And I'm so excited.
I just got the chills.
I know.
I'm not even kidding.
His
I'm
piece
gonna
is
cry.
so good, and I hope that all of you just tune in to watch it tonight. It's so good.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vinny does some wonderful work, especially when he starts storytelling like this. We are blessed to have Vinny Vanzetta, great storyteller, an asset to the Ken's 5 team. Man, I'm really kind of emotional right now. I'm looking forward to that piece. God bless that young football player and that incredible community. We you know, in the wake of tragedy, we always see God's love pour in more than any other time. I think of when Mr. Rogers said it, that when tragedy hits, focus on all the people that come in to help. Don't focus on the one evil act, maybe the one or limited few that committed the crime or the evil. Just look at all the people that love. Look at all the people that come in and help. And that's where God is equipping and empowering, and that's just powerful stuff. So, good stuff. So glad. All right. Oh, Shelly's going to Port A. San Antonio Zoo tomorrow. Maybe should stay, hopefully, SeaWorld Saturday. I wouldn't cancel any of those plans. Good for you. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I just think, you know, that one model was pretty impressive. It was still mostly south of San Antonio, but a little bit more rainfall than, say, that 20% chance for the area. All right, guys, that's going to wrap things up. Shout out to Carter and Charlie Moe. What? Carter and Charlie Moe are on tonight? I haven't said hello to you guys. The last bit of this Pike Place, Charlie and Carter Moe. Here's to you guys, toasting it up to the Moes. We need some Mo. We need some Mo. We need some Mo. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. That's so cool. All right. Well, guys, it's going to wrap things up on this Thursday night. We're going to the Gridiron. Nate Ryan, Vinny Vanzetta. We blanketed the area for the big games on Thursday night football coverage. So make sure to stay tuned, all right? Love you guys. God bless you, and we'll see you in 30 minutes on Ken's 5 News at 10.